Welcome back to Living LFTD with Brenton Ross and my man Gabriel Hernandez.
Yeah, baby. Thank you.
So I got a little intro I wrote on you here.
Okay.
And so you're more so known for being one of the top tattoo artists in the world now. I would give you that.
Damn.
Dude.
That's wild.
People know your work. That's so cool. People I run into all the time. They know your work. You've done an amazing job.
I'm thankful, man.
You're also an entrepreneur. You have your own shop now, and you got a clothing line now too.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What are you trying to do with the clothing line? What's the vision for it?
Right now, we have some very basic ideas: hoodies, T-shirts with the GH logo on it, just to get things going. We opened up the new studio about 5 months ago.
Okay.
Still step-by-step process every week, building. You know, it doesn't stop. But however, we're coming out with some jerseys, baseball jerseys.
That's good.
Yeah, I got a partner I'm working with, some numbing cream actually.
Smart.
I used it myself, man, and I was like, holy shit. I didn't feel nothing. I had to try it again, back it up, make sure it works. Yeah, so I'm backing this 100%.
That's really smart.
As well as aftercare, some foam and products coming out.
Love it.
GH.
Love it.
Letters.
Instant upsell.
GH, get healed, go hard, go home, whatever you want.
I like it. I like it. And then most importantly, he's a great father.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, I love my son. Shout out to Zeta.
We were actually just sitting here talking a little bit as Eric was getting us set up about how long we've known each other and realized it's been 8 or 9 years, which is crazy. And
Long time.
I was saying how we always heard older people say that time flies, and now we're those older people saying that it's the fact I've known you for almost 9 years. How is that even possible? You didn't even have your son when I first met you.
I couldn't even grow one of these.
You've been rubbing
I couldn't. Yeah, I fucking.
That beard grows.
We're old, man. Now
some drops daily.
we age well, though. Huh? Check
right.
you out, man.
Fine wine. But I remember when I think it was the second time. So the first time I met you, Zada wasn't even a thought yet.
Yeah.
The second time was like right when he was being born and everything.
Yeah, man. Zeta changed my life for the best, man. Thank God for him every day.
Yeah.
Multiple times every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched how he's changed you. Big time.
Yeah, I love it. Seriously. You know how you'll hear it. There's nothing like love for a child.
Yeah.
And you can say that, but it's
you
really
show
true.
it.
It's a one
Yeah.
hell of a unique and awesome feeling.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And the thing is, I think you do hear it a lot, but you show it.
Thanks,
You
man.
live it. And we'll get to more of that. I think a lot of people are going to tune in, your fans and stuff, that because they want to hear about tattoo life and all that kind of stuff. But before we even get to any of that, I want to talk about you. I want to show a different side of you that some of those fans haven't got the opportunity to see that I know so well. And it just makes you you. What were you like as a kid? What was the childhood like? Who was Gabriel as a kid?
Active. Yeah, slight OCD.
Okay.
My parents, awesome parents, both of them. Great dad, great mom. They didn't stick together, which is fine, you know.
Yeah.
Shit happens. So I had to take the leadership role. I'm the oldest of 3 brothers at the time, but currently the oldest of 5 brothers, all boys. Yeah. So at the time, I just, had to step up, make some lunches, make sure everybody's in order, brushing their teeth.
How much younger than you?
So we're all 1.5 years apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, me, I'm the oldest. Julian, the second oldest, and then Jason, the third oldest. I love my brothers with all my heart. Childhood was awesome though, man. Great. Very active, like I said. Sports, anything you name it. BMX, racing, skateboarding, roller skates, football, basketball, t-ball, wrestling, of course, that stuck with me. Ended up doing that one and finding my most interest with wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as middle school came around. And I loved it. And it's actually crazy. My coach, Shannon Radford at Mountain Point High School, coached my dad at Tempe High School.
That's cool.
Fucking wow.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now, since you guys were all so close in age, you got to do most of that together then.
Yeah, tearing shit up in the house.
Yeah, I bet.
My mom, chanclas, belts, voice loud.
Yep.
Gabriel,
Yep.
fucking Julian. Oh, I love my mom so much, man. Yes, she she had to withstand a lot of that.
Yeah. My brothers were 3 years younger than me, but they were twins.
Okay.
So 3 boys, but you had them every 1.5 years. So pretty close. We did all those same things.
Yeah.
Together too. It was chaos.
I'm so thankful. I don't know how my fucking mom and dad did it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for my one. But
Especially
3,
now.
4, 5.
Now that we know what it's like.
What?
Exactly. Especially with that close of a spread.
That's
Close in
wild.
age.
And I'm fortunate with my situation too. Like, thank God for my situation. Seriously. But you know, like I tend to think like the people who struggle financially, whatever, like how are you guys even doing this, man?
That's most people.
It's cool. I know. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I think that that's something that I alluded to in a previous episode, but I think it's worth talking about again. People don't realize how much financial pressure even affects the way you can parent, in a sense of like, if money is good and it's taken care of, it doesn't have to pull from your focus on the child, and 100%. Just like making plans to go do something for fun with your kid because you have the money and the ability and the time to 100%. Go do it. If you don't have the money and the time, it's just not an option. And so, like you said, what a blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing, because that's getting more and more rare today.
Yeah, man.
Especially right now.
It is.
Especially right now. I released, it's actually going to go up tomorrow. I did a solo episode, which was the first one, and it's actually about the election. I got on my comfort zone big time.
Ooh.
Big time, because I don't talk about politics at all in any of my stuff. But I still took a unique angle at it. I didn't come at them trying to tell them what to do or what to vote or how to see things. It was a little unique in that. But I talked about, before I even got into that, like the state of the state, the political climate, the social climate, and the economic climate right now. And the truth is, economically, a lot of people are really, really hurting. I think there's a lot of hidden metrics that really reveal that. For example, I went and Mitch, that owns the building, introduced me to one of his friends that owns a gold company. And I was just having a conversation with him, and he was telling me about how, I was just interested. I want to learn how things work, how, you know, you see a strike price of what gold's worth right now, and it's highest than it's ever been. So it's like, okay, if you go in and you have an ounce of gold, do you actually get that amount of money? Like, how does that business work? I just like learning things like that. And so he was teaching me and telling me all this stuff. And he was telling me like about how coins will actually even have a premium on them. And he said, but here's what's crazy. They're over in central Scottsdale, and pretty well off area, right where they're situated. Yeah. And he said, but right now what's insane is we can't even give the premiums we normally would give on those coins because we've had so many people in the last couple months coming in, turning in their coins for cash.
Oh, shit.
Just to pay bills.
Yeah.
So that's like a little hidden X factor. Like, people wouldn't realize that it's very revealing about where things are at if people are having to, instead of buy gold because they think the world's ending or what's going on, which is what most of the time you hear, they're liquidating because they need that cash just to pay bills. Yeah. And especially in a very affluent town like this. So,
yep. Thank God, man, for my situation. Seriously. But childhood was awesome, man. Seriously. I mean, nothing's perfect.
Sure.
Nothing's perfect. And as you age and mature, you can look back on situations and find a sense of appreciation.
Absolutely.
For some shitty, you know what I mean? Events and things.
Absolutely. It's a different perspective.
Yeah.
To see it from now. A different lens. I think I can even have more empathy now and understanding from the parent standpoint than I would have before, because you can understand more so where they're coming from.
Yeah, and you can fully relate now.
Yeah,
being a parent.
And it's not even necessarily to give whether it's for ourselves, our own parents, or someone else's situation. It's not saying that if someone did something wrong that it's okay. That doesn't make it okay, but it helps you to understand where they were coming from or why they might have done that, why they were selfish, why they were negligent to their kid, whatever. And at least helps you understand and see their brokenness, so that way you can actually forgive them.
Yeah.
Than to hold on to that.
Yeah.
And I think it helps when you really understand that perspective instead of it just seeing as, you know, they didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Yeah. And to find that sense of understanding, man, is good. Don't hold grudges.
That's right.
Parents or anything. I know
when you hold grudges, all it does is answer for yourself. Especially like someone that's not even thinking about what they did to you anymore. Yeah. You're the only one still thinking about it. You're the one carrying around, letting it affect your life still.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about it.
Yep.
Even though they're the one that was wrong.
Yeah.
You're the one that's still suffering still. And you've got it like, you know, you hear that saying, they own real estate in your head and they're not paying rent.
Yeah.
In terms of that's true. But when you think about the fact that a lot of times that wearing that chip on your shoulder and carrying that grudge, it affects a lot of your real big life decisions. It also affects how you act in your relationships because you have that chip on your shoulder. You have that guard up. And it can be really damaging to a lot of very important areas of your life that if you just let it go, that person they're still hurting you.
Yeah.
And it's only because you're letting them.
Yeah. 100%.
You can either let them hurt you that one time, or you can let them keep hurting you day after day, moment after moment that you keep thinking about it.
Yeah. Find forgiveness in the heart. It's good.
Right.
It's good.
Right. So I know the sports part was a big part of your childhood, and the wrestling, because that's going to tie you in here in a little bit. But I know you love music.
Yes.
What did that look like in your childhood? And I know you can sing.
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah. Big time.
Okay.
Lover of all music, man. My first CD was Dr. Dre, Chronic, and Nelly, Country Grammar. I remember. Yeah. I remember Santa Claus got those for me one year. That was nice. And then my Nana, we used to go to her retirement home, and she had this record player, man. I'd always sneak my ass in there and start scratching it.
I bet
Tearing
you love
it up.
that.
Dude, I know.
I used to steal my grandma's cigarettes and cut them in half.
You smoke them things?
Nope. I just didn't want her to smoke.
Oh, all right.
Cancer. She gets so mad at me.
Cut them in
I
half.
cut them things up, man.
She probably still hit them things.
Probably. All I know is she got mad at me.
Man, I love music. And actually, my Nana, the one who I was talking about, she was actually a professional recording artist.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. Like on records.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 CDs.
And you were taking them and scratching your records.
I was.
Taking the ones off the wall. The plaque.
It sounded nice, man. Dude, love though. I'm talking. I was that guy burning CDs, Napster, LimeWire, Kazaa, all that, selling them at school. Hot Mix 96.
Yep.
Fucking
1 through 95 was just a warm up. 96 is where you hit your stride.
Yeah.
96 is where it got good,
dude. Man, I think music is fucking amazing.
It is.
I love it.
It's a gift.
I
love it too.
It's a soundtrack to your, to every move you do daily, man. Yeah. Without it, it's boring. I have to have that shit jamming when I tattoo. You know this.
Oh yeah.
And when I'm training.
Jiu-jitsu. You got a steady mix too.
Yeah, it's
you really mix it up. What are you listening to right now? What's your go-to right now,
dude?
You went through a hard Nipsey.
Yes, man, I got that on my face.
Yeah,
all on the end.
Yep. You play a lot of Nipsey,
and but I love that.
And then you started playing a lot of electronic stuff too.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yep. Some nice.
What got you into that?
Some EDM stuff. Just like venturing off, man. Okay. Blackmill. That's when it first started. 8 years ago. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's cool, man. He's actually never done a show, I believe.
Interesting.
I believe this is a fact. He's never done a show, and he's got some bangers out there. So I just ventured off with that, and especially with Apple Music, play similar tracks like it. Dude, I'm sitting here adding songs to my library daily. Daily, man. But man, you're gonna hear everything. Like I was just here bumping. On the way here, I was feeling myself in the car.
But when did you actually start singing?
21-ish, and then did that for a few years, man.
And that was like R&B style, right?
Hip hop.
A little bit.
Yeah, like on the hooks, you know what I mean? The choruses, a little auto-tune here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But I love music, man. And I love it to see my kid. He loves it. He's got his own playlist on my phone.
My daughter.
Mm-hmm. Dude, he's got his own playlist. Mm-hmm. This man, it's a junior of me, man.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
But it's very important, man. I'm serious. I don't think I take a shit without listening to music. Wake up in the morning, set the vibes right.
I know it's a big part of the setting in your shop.
Yes.
It always has been. Even when you were just renting your own little spaces in different places like that, you always had music privileges.
I actually got kicked out.
I know.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the reason for several shops that I don't work there now. Sorry, guys. No, I am sorry if it affected any business at all. But yeah, dude, I like to fucking jam.
I know.
I work with my girl at our studio now, and she's opposite. She likes a movie playing.
Really?
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
But then I, slowly sneak the volume up. Yeah. And here comes the tunes slapping.
Yeah.
But bro, my library has everything. Bone Thugs Harmony, DJ Quick, Nipsey Hussle. You'll get Garth Brooks in there. You'll get some rock bands, EDM for sure. Mersive, he's dope.
I think the music industry right now is kind of in a unique place.
I couldn't tell you. I as far as new music, nah, man. I think I stopped searching for new music several years ago.
So I'll let you go first. Why do you think that is?
It's like our parents said, what's all this? What's this? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's this new shit? What do you guys?
Exactly.
And now I get it.
Yeah.
What's this new shit? I've already heard my artist tell me the shit I needed to hear. I heard Tupac, Biggie, you know what I mean? Dr. Dre, all them tell me what I need to hear. And yeah, I don't know, man.
I think if you look at like Wayne was a bridge. He still was a lyricist, but then he started bringing more and more of the auto-tune sound in as his career progressed. And even then his career kept like, think about in like 2008 to 2012, there wasn't a song that he wasn't on somewhere at some point.
And he was fucking killing it.
I don't know if anybody's ever been.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Like, I think he might have had the tightest grip on the industry I've ever seen.
He was killing people's beats. You know what I mean? Their own shit, their own hot singles.
Exactly. Like he had a grip on the whole entire industry itself. And then at the tail end, as it became more and more auto-tuned and he didn't have as much trend, didn't have as much hit, some of the newer people, Lil Baby, different, you know, they started pulling some of that auto-tune sound. And then as they were good and had their moment, but then even that next step and that progress, it just became even more and more and more to the point now, a lot of them, they don't even like say anything. They just someone make noises to the sound and stuff.
That's crazy.
Joe Coy, have you seen his stand-up where he comes out and he's like making all these noises and all this stuff and everybody's like, what is he doing? And he's like, I can't do it. And he plays Biggie and he talks about how Biggie's real music and everybody goes nuts. And he goes, y'all think I was joking. Like, let me play something for you. Yeah. And then he turns on the actual song and it was what he was mumbling and that really was how the song goes. But when you put it all together, it sounded like an actual song.
That's wild.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Exactly. So I feel like in the hip hop side, it's kind of in just like a weird phase right now. Yeah. EDM was killing and then COVID hurt EDM. Yeah. Because festivals are a big part of the heart and soul of EDM. Yeah. And when you couldn't have festivals anymore, that really hurt it. Yeah. And then I felt like so many people saw these DJs that were making hundreds of millions of dollars. Everybody started trying to make their own electronic music. And then the saturation point went up even more. And as the market was kind of in a weird place. So then I'm kind of looking at it and I feel like if I had to put my finger on what the most trendy genre right now, I'd say it's country.
100%. Yeah, as of now, right now, this day.
It's definitely, and now you're seeing the crossover of like a Morgan Wallen that can sing. A lot of like true diehard country people from the South or something probably wouldn't even consider him country, but he has some songs that are that style. Brown, right? And then he's got his rock type stuff and now he's doing stuff with like Lil Durk. He did stuff with Moneybagg.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so he's like there's a lot of that crossover, but I feel like right now country, like Jelly Roll, he's got that hip hop.
Hardy,
I like Hardy a lot too. His last album was really solid.
Dude, he's got that song
Post Malone comes out with a country album. I got to give him props to be an R&B hip hop. I mean, you talking about the guy got famous off White Iverson, right? To now drop a country album, and he's good. Like he did a good job, but look at the names he was able to have on that album. Your first country album, and you have like top 10 country artists on that. That's impressive.
That is cool,
and it came together well. Like it did really good job on that. I like it.
I like it. I've heard a few songs. Actually, I think I have the whole album added to my library. Yeah.
Do you like the Morgan Wallen, Lil Durk, and Morgan? I think you might like the Moneybagg.
So I've heard the Moneybagg.
I like that a little bit of that one. I play that one. Lil Durk one's solid too.
I haven't heard that one.
Broadway Girls.
I haven't heard that one, but I did see Lil Durk's in some trouble himself, man. Hopefully
did he now?
Yeah, Murder for Hire, something. Yeah, he's in Chicago.
It's sad, man, when you see some of these guys that get the opportunities and the success they're experiencing, but yet they still get involved with some of the stuff that they just don't have to anymore.
Well, he wasn't trying to, but he got caught.
I don't know anything about his.
Yeah, I don't. Just a Murder for Hire.
If I'm not mistaken, I swear I remember this would have been like 4 or 5 years ago. At one point, did you actually get signed singing?
So I was signed to a local independent label.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I know you can sing.
Pearlsman Records, we did that, and man, we had great times. We actually went out to Chicago. Performed with Twista, Shauna, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You got to perform with? No kidding. I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. I was young and dumb, but having fun for sure. Having fun, young and dumb though. Riding around my little Chevy S10.
I don't want to beat myself to it to when the part where we get to start talking about like the whole entire tattoo world of your life, but I do feel like it is part of what's made you so successful is when someone's in your chair, especially someone like me that's there for 10 hours at a time. like the way that you're singing, you're just being yourself, you're connecting with them. It's a different experience than they get at most other places.
100%. I hear that too.
I think people come in, they see your art on Instagram or whatever, and they're like, oh, wow, this guy's really talented. The realism that you're able to accomplish. But the way that you make the whole thing an experience then when they're with you.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
That's
part.
cool to hear, man.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Like I've heard clients tell me, just a great experience.
That's for sure.
I just like to be happy, man. Seriously. Even on the days I wake up not happy, man, I'm just happy to be alive. Happy. Thankful. Thankful, man.
Where did jiu-jitsu come from?
So Gracie Barra.
I mean, I know you said wrestling in high school and
Yep.
everything. So what made you pick up jiu-jitsu? It was like, what, 3 years ago now?
Oh, a year and a half ago.
Oh, that's
now.
it?
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
Okay.
A little bit more probably. It's right by my house, the Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Perfect.
So I see it, stares me in the eye every time I pass it, man. And I wasn't in the best spot of my life at this time 2 years ago.
I remember.
Just dark, battling for custody for my son, you know, whole bunch of bullshit. Thank God. So I was like, man, I got to go in here. I got to go in here. I got to utilize my time. I have
You just felt something when you were driving by.
man. And I have all those years of wrestling. I didn't know anything about jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu at all. So I took my ass in there. Sure enough, man, the first day I met my professor, Luis, awesome guy, and his wife, Josie. They run that whole thing. Great people, man. I fell in love. I was like, sign me up. They're like, are you sure you don't want to? Sign me up, man. I was like, I'm coming here. This is what I needed. It's just fucking awesome, man.
Was it
Freeing
the
your
structure?
mind.
Well, what was it that grabbed you right away? What
Bro,
was it?
just everybody, like, you go there to improve yourself daily. Like, you're not there to be a killer and try and beat everybody, you know what I mean? Because, dude, I remember one of my first times sparring with a professor. This guy's 125 pounds. At the time, I was 180. You know what I mean? Not in the best shape. But, dude, he felt like 250 pounds. Whooped my ass. The technical side of it is incredible.
Yep. It's a mental chess.
Oh, it's amazing. Seriously. So I love pulling into that parking lot whenever I get the chance. Usually it's 4 or 5 times a week. And I just sit in that car, say a little prayer, man, and go in. It's amazing what you learn from the other individuals in there. Everybody in there is going through something or has been. And you notice that the more time you spend together.
You feel that community
aspect. It's amazing. We're all there to better ourselves. And
but while you're building each other up.
Exactly.
That's the lifted
And we get to watch it too, like at these tournaments and everything. Very thankful for everybody at the academy.
Yeah.
Gracie Barra, Awatuki actually sponsored the youth team, so they got the GH on their gis.
Cool.
Dude, they traveled to Brazil, Portugal, Miami. They've done all these tournaments, and we've got some killers on the team. Serious killers. They're 14, 15. They'll be black belts by the time they're 18, 19, man.
Speaking of killers, though, I've seen you. You haven't lost yet, have you?
No. Yeah, I went undefeated.
What do you think has made you so successful?
The commitment, my experience with wrestling, for sure. It's a great foundation to have. I found this out going in, you know what I mean?
For those that don't know, and even myself to an extent, how does it even work? Like, how does a jiu-jitsu match? How does it work? What's like if you're going into one right now? How do the rules work? How does it work?
So weigh in is 5 minutes before your fight. It's not like the day before where you get to fucking
blow up.
No.
Okay.
You got to weigh that weight like 5 minutes before you fight, dude.
That makes sense.
Yeah, which is and with your gi on.
Makes sense.
Like you have to have everything on. You have to weigh. I fight at 168.
Wow.
So
what are you right now?
Probably 168.
Really? So you kind of hover there. You don't pull off right before.
Nuh-uh.
Really? So you kind of just maintain. And
Yeah.
stay
So
where
like
you need to be?
2 weeks before my tournament, I'll start watching my diet.
Is there something to that? Because like what you were saying earlier, that 125 pounder with technique and then like weight distribution and everything you're doing, you have to get used to the type of weight that you're working with. Is there anything to that as to why you would stay at the same weight? There's a strategy.
No. So let's go back to if I were to get ready for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match, it's 5 minutes. You can go and meet in the middle, shake hands, boom. There's a point system you can win by, or obviously submissions, which you want to get.
Okay.
That's what I go for. And that's it. That's usually how it is, man. And it's
without choking somebody out or tapping them out. How do you get points?
So points, take down, side control, knee on belly.
Gotcha.
Certain things like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Take the back control, get your hooks in for 3 seconds. And
So it's like boxing. You landed a good punch, but it didn't knock him out.
Yeah.
So you're like basically getting scored on having the advantage.
Yes.
You're winning the fight, and that's how they're tallying.
Yep.
That.
Full mount. You get both of your legs on them. That's points. You can go back to side control. That's more points. Play with them. Get back on mount. Yeah. It's amazing.
What's your sticks? I got to come to one of your fights, and I'm sorry I haven't been to one yet.
That's all right, man.
When you're fighting, and you know, like, I got this motherfucker. Like, I won this thing. Do you just kill it and like finish it, or do you play with them?
I definitely respect each and every one of my opponents I've ever.
I see that.
Yeah, always. But I mean, what else am I supposed to think? They should be thinking the same thing, that they're gonna fucking kill me. You know what I mean? So I'm going in there, but calm.
But you know what I mean. You know, in that moment in a fight, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm going for the choke, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break your shit.
Yeah.
You're trying to break mine.
Yeah.
In a fight, either you're gonna get hurt or you're gonna hurt someone.
Yeah.
I prefer not to get hurt. So yeah, man, as a white belt, my record's online. I think it's 21-0 or 20-0.
Okay.
That was pretty cool.
And then I think you were telling me it was like a month ago, and I was asking you about it. Then the next belt is what color?
I got blue belt. I got promoted to blue belt.
That's right.
About 2 months ago.
And then purple, you said?
And then you get purple.
Okay.
And then you get brown and then black.
So damn, that takes a long time to get that. So that's no joke.
Yeah.
Someone's paid their dues to get to black.
Yeah, about 8-10 years. And then there's a coral belt for the real heavy hitters. That's past black belt. Yeah.
Now, so obviously you're a stud and you've won that many fights in a row. There's not a way like a phenom comes in and can get to a black faster than someone else?
Certain academies run differently.
I see.
Yes, mine's a very traditional, you know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah, putting
They're
your
focusing
time.
more on like the community and what the sport does for the person. That's trying
Yes,
to
but there
advance.
definitely are professors who, if their white belt were to go 20-0, they'd give them a fucking
right.
Purple belt, you know what I mean, or something like that. Or,
I figured.
But I'm cool with the way my professors train me, man. Let me learn every step that I need to.
Like
they call it saddlebagging in a sense.
Okay.
Stay there a little bit, you know, as long as I need to.
Sure.
Shit, keep me at a white belt.
Sure.
Okay.
Just keep winning.
keep me at a white belt, man. And I'm not the best, dude.
I'm Money Mayweather this thing. I'll keep taking fights. I know I can win.
I know I'm not the best, bro, but I'm gonna be the best version of me, and I will be better than I was yesterday. And that right there keeps me the fucking best.
Oh man. Oh, I love that. You know that's how I tick. All right, let's give people what they want. Let's talk about the tattoos. AZ Gabriel.
Yes, sir. Damn, that name is stuck.
It has.
My name is Jacob McLaughlin, and I'm the founder of New to Medical Device Sales. Medical device sales is the selling of medical equipment to hospitals, surgeons. They're actually in the surgeries, and the average rep's going to make around $177,000. And what we've been able to do is help people break in about 8 weeks at around $100,000 starting out in the industry. It usually is 5 to 7 interviews, 6 to 12 weeks long in the interview process, and they go up against thousands of people. But that's because you are going to be working with some of the smartest human beings, such as surgeons. You're going to make over 6 figures. You get your car paid for, all your gas paid for, and all your travel paid for. We've been able to help over 2,000 people do this in the last 2 years. Not only do we help people break in to make a difference and change other people's lives, they also get to change their lives. If you're interested in helping people and you're interested in financially becoming free, we can definitely help you. And I think you should check out New to Medical Device Sales, our podcast, while you can also click the link where you guys can learn more about what we do at New to Medical Device Sales. I absolutely love Brenton. I thank him so much for what he's doing for all of you. And I hope you guys keep enjoying the episode.
I think it's really funny because when people ask me and they're local and I'll tell them about you, oh, AZ Gabriel, like that did stick.
That's so fucking cool,
They did
man.
stick.
So cool.
Yeah.
Not intentional at all. I think I made that Instagram page 15 years ago, maybe. Yeah, just to post bullshit, you know what I mean? And then I found a tattoo machine, 23 years old. Went and got a tattoo starting kit from, I don't even remember the supply store.
What comes in a tattoo starting kit?
Bro, you get a sheet of practice skin, some shitty ass needles, tubes, shitty coil machine at the time. There was a foot pedal, clip cord. Yeah, dude, we're spoiled now. We got our rotary machines.
Even the difference
wireless.
when I first met you compared to what you work with now is drastically different. It's crazy how much in that amount of time.
So there's no foot pedal, there's no cord, there's nothing. You just batteries. You got replacements too that are charging just in case it goes dead. Yeah, you whip it up. Now they have cartridges pre-made. You know, even the
amount of pressure that you put, I feel like you don't even have to push as hard before as you did before. Like I don't feel it as much either.
I may have gotten a little better over
A little
time.
lighter in the hand. Is that a thing? Oh, so it's a light. I've heard that actually. Is that they say a lighter hand?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, some people
just
are
like a
known to
feel
be a
thing.
little heavy-handed.
And what would that do as far as
You could blow up lines. You could fuck up a piece. Yeah.
I see.
But it also depends on what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you got heavy, dark, black saturation pieces, you're going to feel that a little bit more.
Has anybody convinced you to do any color? My man,
No.
I wanted you to say that because that's how I tie some stuff in here. And I knew you were going to say that.
No,
I knew
sir.
I knew it.
No. Even the smallest shit, too. Like, can you do a little eye?
No.
I'm like, no, man.
That's not what I do.
Yeah, at all.
You came to me.
Sorry.
I come to your
I'm
house.
not.
How'd you get started? What made you want to do it?
My cousin Brian, man, he was tattooing me. I let him do this boombox on my hand.
Okay.
And I was like, where the hell did you get this? He's like, yeah, they got a startup kit, man, over here at the supply store. I think it had to have been the day after, man.
That he had just gotten it? How long had he been doing it before you let him hit your hand?
A couple months. I didn't give a shit.
enough.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to look tattooed. But I did know that, man. Back to my childhood, I skipped it, completely artistically inclined. Always drawing the Space Jam characters.
Really?
Yes, Bugs Bunny, Taz, Michael Jordan himself, everything. I remember going to homies' houses when we were younger. I would look at a picture of one of their tatas or nanas and draw it, boom, 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 just for fun. Yeah, and I remember actually one of my friend's moms, she's like, man, you could be an artist when you get older. I'll never forget that. I was drawing on their...
It stuck with you.
Yeah, I was drawing on their kitchen table that portrait of his tata or some older gentleman. And sure enough, man, it's crazy. So I started that, got the tattoo supply kit. I'm 23 years old. I'm now 35. So we'll be creeping up on 13 years here. From the first time I ever picked up a machine professionally, let's call it 7 or 8.
How old were you when she said that you could be an artist someday?
8th grade.
Isn't it so crazy how a little comment like that could hold so much weight in someone's life and even affect a life trajectory?
Yeah, 100%. And now I remember doing the same thing at my house that we grew up in with all my cousins. My cousin Jerry and all my cousins. I remember drawing the Space Jam characters. And, yeah.
Do you think it actually is like a mandatory prerequisite to be a successful tattoo artist that you got to be
now? No, man. I'll be honest. I haven't touched a pencil or paper in a long time.
Yeah, but you do have the ability though, so it's there. Like someone that comes in and can't draw for shit. Yeah, can they end up being a good tattooer? Really?
Oh,
just because of the technology.
Man. All you need is procreate, some imagination, some creativity. And
I do say, and I think you'll agree, you can go buy a $5,000 camera setup and you can take great pictures and you can get it done, but you either have the eye or you don't.
100%.
So it's like, yeah, they could get it done,
but they're not. You can give the man the same tool to build the house, but you ain't gonna get the same house.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
And I know there's gonna be people out there who don't want to hear that, but this is the truth, man. You don't have to be an artist to be a tattoo artist, man.
Right.
As long as you learn how to put that shit in properly and you learn how to design some shit on your iPad Pro, you're golden. You brand yourself, you represent yourself well, you got a little career field going, man.
Now, I know there's like different traditions in tattoo, like history, right? There's like the Japanese style. Then isn't there something they use like it's like elongated
the stick and poke style?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is the deal with that? How's that even work?
I don't know, man. You got to ask Angelina Jolie. She's got them on her back. But
Call Eric, get her on Eric, bring Angelina up, please.
So yeah, the stick and poke. Basically dot by dot, man.
That has to take forever.
Yeah, and then same with shading. I haven't seen many videos, but it's like a big mag.
Wow.
Like that. The needles are grouped like that. Just going shoving in you.
That's crazy. They need that numbing cream.
Yeah, we need that. Coming soon, hopefully.
Coming soon. They're going to need a bucket of your numbing cream for that. Do you notice right now, like a trend in the tattoo world? Do you notice, like, you have so many people coming to you, and do you notice that there's just like a reoccurring thing that people are looking for, a style right now, or even, I mean, you do all realism, so they're coming to you for that specific style, but even like similar things.
Yeah. A lot of people, yeah, man, it's not, tattooing now, especially getting tattoos, man, not every piece has to be sentimental, mean something. Now it's like, people just want to look fucking cool. And if it's done right, you look cool. It does. You know what I mean? It's appealing.
I know what you mean.
So, yeah, it's nice to look at. So, dude, for instance, the Zeus face or
that's huge.
Those statues,
I remember
like
that
the Greek
was
statue,
blowing up like crazy.
Still is kind of, man.
Oh yeah,
it's just wild. Like I've done them so many times.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
But I do them a style that people like, you know what I mean? And yeah. Again, you can go give another tattoo artist the same machine, same ink, but you're not going to get the same product.
I've watched that over the last 5 to 10 years when people started to do all the Greek stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of the ones I've seen that I guess without being overly critical, a kind way of saying it is they just kind of look like a little bubbly. They don't look like sharp, like they look kind of puffy, and it doesn't look right. It's just a little cartoony.
Yeah.
Yours are always come out so sharp, the dimension and the depth in them and everything.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I don't even know if I call my style, like, it's definitely not hyper realism, not super hyper realism. There's definitely...
it's unique. Yeah. It's yours.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't even think we got to put it. AZ Gabriel. That's the style, right?
Heck
there.
yeah. I'll take that.
For our non-tattoo listeners, though, like some just doesn't understand the culture.
That's all right.
I think that, like, for me personally, I'll be vulnerable and speak from my perspective. You can crucify me if you need to, if you don't like it. Everything I get, as you know, has meaning.
Yes.
And the right question necessarily isn't even what I'm getting. I think it's why I'm getting it. And you even touched on it, like when it's done right, if it looks a certain way, like it's close to being on the edge of what I'm getting ready to say. But to me, if you're getting it for yourself, whether it be you want it to commemorate something that was impactful in your life, a part of your story, your individualism, even a reminder on you that you need to see all the time, because like that, I even have stuff like that, as you know. If you're not getting it just because you think that someone else is going to think it's cool, or like I just think that the thing, what it comes down to for me is why or why not I'm getting something. If I'm getting it for me, like there's even times we talk about positioning and I'm like, well, I want to see it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it so how everybody else sees it. I'm getting it for how I see it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting it for you and your reasons, and it's not because I'm just trying to check a box for other people, I don't see the problem with it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of some people disagree with that, but like we all do certain things
100%
for ourselves, and this is just a version of that. And if it's you being unique and true to yourself, I actually think it's a good thing.
I think it's amazing.
I do too.
I think it's crazy that I can do this shit too. I
think it's cool that you get to be a part of helping someone express their individualism.
Yes, I love that.
I think you can even probably tell the difference. I know you can. You're going to keep your mouth shut with most of them because they're sitting in your chair. But you know the difference of like when someone's getting it for the right reasons, or if they're getting it for a different reason. Like you know if it's truly a part of them and why they're doing it. Yeah. Like I won't say who they are, but I've had some buddies that have literally gone in and they're like, I don't care what I get, just give me a sleeve, because they just want to be able to say they have a sleeve. Now, that's kind of on the edge of what I'm saying. Like if you wanted that sleeve for a reason that's for you, like cool. But if you're just like, well, I just want a sleeve so everybody knows I have a sleeve. I think there's a little bit of self-work to just look at, like, why am I getting something just so everybody else knows I have it? Yeah. I think it's worth looking at that.
Yeah.
Doing a little
maybe it pumps him or her up at the gym. Maybe it's motivating.
Could be.
In any way.
Could be. But again, that's for them.
Exactly. And
so that's a good thing.
They don't even have to say the reasons.
True.
Ever.
True. I think so many of us constantly feel the need today to explain ourselves.
Yeah, it shouldn't. I'm totally the opposite, man.
It sucks.
Let
me ask you. I know the answer to this question.
I won't answer shit. I won't ever explain myself. You can think whatever the fuck you want about me.
I know that.
Respectfully, dude, I don't give a fuck.
I know that. I know that, and I think that's a good thing. And I'm going to ask you this because I already know the answer. If you didn't have to have social media, like now you are uniquely in a place because your business is so pipelined out that you technically don't really need it anymore. Yeah. It still feeds it. But like when you first started getting started and seeing traction. Yeah. If you didn't have to have social media, would you even have it? Me either. No. I knew you were going to say that. I wouldn't either.
No, my shit actually got randomly suspended not too long ago. I think it was a month ago. Yeah. Just random. Woke up to an email. Oh, yeah, your account's been something. So I went and appealed it. 3 minutes later, it's like, nah, your shit's definitely deleted, gone. A lot of my clients were texting me, hey, where's your page at? And just because they like to show other people my work, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, AZ Gabriel did this shit, and they'll go to my page, it wasn't there. So that's the only reason that I really gave a fuck. I was like, well, damn. Because that's how it keeps my name consistent. You know what I mean? I don't even necessarily need to be on here. That's why on my page, I don't have comments on. I don't talk to nobody. I just don't.
Right.
It's there. I'm there to put it there. And here's my number in the bio. If you want a tattoo, that's that.
Right.
Dude, I'd much rather be chilling with my son and my lady than be fucking on this. Because I've had my years of that. And I feel like I've earned my freedom and my time to step away from that shit and just gracefully enjoy everybody who even reaches out to me. Thankful for each and every one of you. Who
you've always done a good job of that too. You always show you that appreciation.
Seriously, but no,
even though you have the weight
I would never have
and stuff like it didn't develop a sense of entitlement in you. It wasn't like you're in my shop, I'm the fucking shit, and like you're still appreciative of them being there and giving you business.
Dude, we're all human.
Yeah,
we're all human still.
Exactly.
And the amount of money or anything or that shit that shit could be gone, man.
I knew you were gonna say that about social, but I wanted to ask you that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to hear you say that.
Yeah, no.
And I'm the same way.
I wouldn't have that.
Like, I guess when I say that out loud, there's a sense of responsibility I have now that I'm like, well, I've been given a platform or an audience, and now I want to be able to use that to help make other people's lives better. But what's something that's different about me and my following on Instagram is I didn't build it. It didn't happen because I had some picture or video of me that went ballistic and everybody thought like, oh, this guy's everything. And then it just went nuts. I only have a following because I gave free workouts.
Yeah.
I provided value,
which is
and
sick.
Gave people something they could actually use.
Yeah.
And over the last 8 years have built a following.
Yeah.
I didn't have a viral video or photo. They're like, this is the hottest guy ever. And it went nuts. And
which
honestly,
you are, man.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Dude, and I hate to interrupt, man, but I remember we worked out probably 5-6 years ago together. Which, man, we need to fucking work out together soon. But I still use that one. On the shoulders you teach me, full up, half, full up. Oh, man. I just used that the other day at the gym.
Good. Still works, right?
Yes.
That's
but anyway, back to,
what
yes, man. I use those free workouts.
Good. So where I'm going with that is a lot of people, when you amass some type of audience, they start to really attach their identity to it. And then what you see is that when the algorithm isn't in your favor, like we've seen it because you developed your style. I even watched you, like you liked someone to position their arm a certain way. You did your lighting, you did your phone, you had your system because you've seen it work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that thing picks up and goes crazy and it gets great traction.
Yeah.
Then you could do the same thing, same light, maybe even a piece that you like even more and it doesn't do as well for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But because it's not attached to your identity, it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, no.
But so many of these people that have blown up because of the way they look or something they did, and then that trend falls off and they're not getting that attention anymore, it's so hard for them to be able to deal with mentally because they feel like nobody cares about them anymore.
Oh, yeah, man.
They don't feel like they're special anymore.
You can't allow yourself to feed off that, and that's where, I guess, the sense of your happiness comes from, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
You can't do that shit.
And I want, especially anybody, but especially the younger people to hear that. I feel like so many people right now, the younger crowd wants to chase clout or to be able to make that their job. And I get why you would want it to be your job.
This day and age is different, ain't it?
I know.
Phones?
I know. But they see
in front of the face 24/7.
You know, like for example, you see somebody like, Jackass was the original ones to do all the crazy pranks and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And that worked for them. And then like probably $1 billion empire at this point.
Yeah.
Then you saw like Nelk Boys and they did their own version of that and what that blew up into for them. And now you see all these young kids that they'll try to do crazy things, drinking or eating Tide Pods or whatever, because they think that that's going to give them their fame. And then what they don't realize is it's so overly saturated that even if that one video did get 10 million views, in 2 weeks, no one even knows who you are.
Yep.
Like, yeah, there's sure little anomalies like the Haktua girl or whatever, like, which is insane that could give someone a career off a moment like that.
Wild.
Like, it happens.
But that's what makes these kids chase that shit. They see how easy that shit happened.
Exactly.
And that's,
I compare it to lottery scratch tickets.
Yeah.
Like every time you're just trying to scratch a ticket, hope that you win, hope that you win, hope that you win, but only one in.
Don't disrespect yourself for some fucking clout, dude.
Exactly. And that's what I've watched. You've always maintained your brand. You maintain your style. You've always respected yourself and you stayed true to that even as you caught trends.
Yes.
And not everybody can say that.
Yeah.
Not everybody can say that.
Yeah, because that's not the source of my happiness, man.
No.
It never will be. I hope that shit shuts down. Let's see everybody's true colors, you know what I mean?
The only side of it, well, we'll push back on that, is that what it has given right now that I think is very important is that it's become so rampant in most mainstream media that it's not true, that at least this has given us a platform. A lot of people get their news and information from podcasts.
Yeah.
They can find the truth somewhere from someone's experience, someone who's actually willing to tell the truth and not care what that's going to mean from a brand deal or whatever.
Right. So
I am thankful for that. It has given us free speech, which is why I do feel at some point, like unless things drastically go a different direction, or hopefully they do over the next 4 to 8 to 12 years, I think we could move to a scenario where it gets so heavily regulated that they try to control that because it's disrupting their model.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a scary
See that
thought.
happening too. I am thankful though. There are pros and cons, man. That's why I'm on there, post my shit, and that's it. I'm not surfing the web. Respectfully, I'm not looking at nothing. Nobody. There's a lot of garbage.
It's a time suck.
There's a lot
like
of garbage,
the doom
man.
scrolling, that's the perfect name for it. And all the studies that come out too, that the kids that'll get on TikTok especially, or on Instagram Reels, and they'll just do this and watch Reels for 2 hours. The anxiety that it produces and depression and everything, it just absolutely just cooks your mind. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But how do you stop it?
I mean, I regulate it with my son. He does. He knows too. If he has iPad time, he gets like 20 minutes max.
That's good.
And then also, before I even give the iPad, we'll go outside with a ball. I'll always do that. That's number one option. Football, baseball, basketball.
I love it.
Loves basketball, man. Loves it. So, and there's even times like he knows it's a privilege. He'll have his iPad time. Dude, he's on it for 5 minutes and puts it down. You don't want it no more.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's rare too.
Yeah, I don't let him watch
incredible.
fucking shorts.
I don't want to be that guy that's like ultra negative towards young generations.
No.
I'm seeing a lot of the young guys, young women, young teenagers right now that there's actually a little bit of pushback because they're seeing for the millennials and Gen Z, like what it actually was doing, just constantly having this attached to you or being just always this being your idol and this is your everything, that they're at least waking up to it to an extent.
Yeah.
And I think that there is some of those kids that are really starting to see, okay, I don't want that. I don't want that path. I do want to be more like the stories I hear from my parents about playing outside with their friends and the depth of the relationships that they had, and that they weren't so introverted that they didn't want to leave and go outside because they were such bad social anxiety. That was the biggest thing about COVID with these kids. The heart breaks for those kids.
There's a lot.
I even felt some of it too. Like I live in a bubble, especially at that time with Lifted and everything where it was at. Like it didn't hardly affect me because I already lived in a bubble.
Right.
I go from my house to my gym and warehouse and everything's done there, and then I go back to my house. Like it didn't, but when you got to the point where you're just not seeing anybody and these kids aren't going to school and they're just like, man, that's
graduating without a ceremony. That's
brutal.
My brother went through that shit. But yeah, there's so much and too much life to enjoy. Serious, real life. Go capture real emotions, real feelings. Feel sad, feel happy, enjoy it all.
Exactly.
Yeah, because this ain't shit.
How long's your wait right now?
I am booking. It's not long at all, man.
What?
May 2025. Yeah.
It's not long.
January, March, April, May. Yeah, May, June 2025. Yeah, I've been slowing down on promotion. Like I said, took some steps back from that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot when I'm booked out a year and a half, man.
Yeah.
It's great, the security and all, but can't plan shit. You know what I mean?
Sure. That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
What a blessing.
Yes.
And that's so unique too.
Yes.
And I watched how, and if you don't mind me asking, I remember when I first saw you where your rates were at, and even when I first saw you where your rates were at compared to where they were even probably within a few years before. I think you were like 100, 110 when I first met you. What are you at now?
Tattoo sessions start anywhere from 1,800 to 2,500.
Exactly.
And just the daily rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I watched the way that you did it.
Yeah.
You didn't like, I feel like so many people, and I still remember this moment. It was the second time that you were working on me and you said, I set my price and live my life, homie. I still remember. That was Jay-Z that originally said it, right?
Jay-Z,
yeah. But you took that and you ran with it.
Yeah.
And you really applied it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like you just set some stupid number. You looked at the demand you had. You were getting customers ongoing there, and you just kept incrementing, building that time out.
Yeah.
And now the way you built to, man.
Yeah, man, it was a cool pivoting point for me. I'm only one man. Thankful for everybody knocking at the door. But you can't
proud of
not
you.
everybody can go in one doorway, man. So I gotta filter it out some way, somehow. And I'm just so fortunate and thankful that I can do that, man.
I'm very proud of you. And I don't say that from like, I'm proud of you. I'm saying that I respect you.
Yes, thank you.
I respect you so much.
Thanks, man.
A lot of people can achieve monetary, it's so hard. I don't want to say it that way and make it seem oversimplified. People can achieve success in their arena, but not everybody can handle it the way you have.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I just keep my 10 toes down.
Yeah. How many, I don't say how many, I know you got a bunch. Give me like one or two of your funniest or craziest stories.
Tattooing?
Yeah. I know you gotta have.
Dude, so when I first started in my apartment, I first started tattooing off of 67th Avenue and McDowell.
Okay.
Over there on West Side. Man, I had this girl come over. She wanted an anchor on her foot. And she walks in, we're getting ready. I'm getting the design ready. This is my living room, bro. Mm-hmm. My apartment's probably as big as this, a little bit smaller. She takes off her fucking, I don't even know what they were, slippers. Bro, fucking bugs were crawling.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like you could see
like
the
bed
actual.
bugs, something, bro, was crawling from her slippers or her feet. Yeah.
In your living room.
Fucking crazy. Yeah. Still tattooed her.
Yeah.
Still, like,
I
I think I might have killed them little bitches, threw them away on the side, didn't tell her nothing.
you grab Lysol, you just spraying her. It'd be like, this is actually part of the process for everybody's tattoos, just spraying it down.
That shit was wild.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that happened. That really happened. And then same apartment, a long time ago, I spelled the word strength wrong. I think I forgot the
How'd they
T
handle
or
it?
something, or 8, I don't know. Well, it was on their back. It was late at night. I was doing it, boom, boom, boom. Everything was fine. Wrapped her up, sent her home. She gets home. She's like, hey, you spelled this wrong. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, buddy.
So, I don't do any lettering anymore.
False.
Dude.
False.
Oh
False.
my
I got
God.
you to do it.
And if I do, man, I make sure you guys read it 8 times before
You do.
Oh, man.
I remember that.
Dude, yeah.
I didn't know that's why,
I
though.
felt bad.
Oh, I bet.
So she came back, and I tried like covering a letter with white, sneaking it in there. I'm so sorry. Whatever your name is, I forget. Man. But yeah, those are some pretty crazy times.
What's the craziest one someone's wanted you to do?
Nothing, man.
Really?
Yeah, and I get this question often.
Because before I met you, I went to this little spot in Old Town just to get like some simple stuff done that I honestly wasn't that even happy with on that simple stuff. That's what sent me on my search to thank God I found you. But I remember they were telling me a story. Some dude came in and was wanting his butthole tatted.
That's wild. Yeah, I've never had that. Any encounter like that.
And they
never
did it there.
tattooed like a dick.
They did it.
I've never tattooed anywhere around. Like, nah.
They did it right there in the shop.
Oh, they did?
They did it. Yeah, they made one of the younger guys in the shop do it. Dude was bent over the end of the table while everybody else is in there because it was like a bullpen setup, with all the different artists.
Yeah.
So they got some dude bent over tatting his butthole.
Oh, man.
Everybody else is getting worked on. And they got like a picture of it up on the wall and everything.
That's wild.
Unreal.
Yikes.
Unreal.
That would hurt.
Talk about getting tattoos for different reasons.
Yeah.
what
did he get?
It's just one of the world to see.
Tongue
baby.
sticking out of it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a lot.
No, I'm thankful, man. I haven't had no crazy shit like that happen.
That's good.
Yeah.
So something I've noticed since I've known you, and even listening to you talk, you picked up on it right away, and I even saw your face, the emotion that showed behind it when we talked about jiu-jitsu and how you were gravitated towards that place and how you knew once you got in there, how you run your business, your shop. You're strategic.
Mm-hmm.
You're very strategic. And so what I normally do, or have been in a lot of the end of my episodes, I'll talk about like something I want to focus on with that guest that I feel like they exhibit or that they live their life in that way very well. And I'll talk about that right out of the gate. And I'm just trying not to put this in a box. I just want to be able to have the type of conversation we're having right now. But if I was going to put a focus on this, dude, you are incredible about being strategic because I've watched it in motion over the last almost decade now. And I looked up the definition of strategy. I'm going to read that here in a second. But what I've noticed is that not only are you strategic, but you have the necessary self-discipline that it's required to make the strategy work, to facilitate that strategy. So Oxford defines strategy as a plan of action or policy designed to achieve a major or overall aim. But as I just said, the X factor is discipline. Without discipline, a strategy is worthless.
Yes.
It's more of a pipe dream than it is actually a plan. And you definitely deploy that necessary self-discipline. Did you originally have like a plan, a vision that got you to where you are now? Or like, what'd that look like?
Yeah, this was a part of the plan from the beginning.
Figured.
Yeah, I remember I knew it. The first 3 months of me picking up a tattoo machine, I knew this was going to be the rest of my life. And I shit you not, man. I remember I did an interview, something like this, on my balcony a long time ago, and I said the same thing. I was like, man, I picked this up 3 months ago, and I know it'll be with me forever. Now I know I'm not going to be able to charge $2,000 off the rip. You know what I mean? But that was part of it, man. Full day sessions for $50. Fuck it. Bring me lunch. I'll tattoo you. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Then once I, yep. Then
you were willing to pay your dues that most people aren't willing to do.
Yeah. I hit a level, made that my new base. Boom, boom. So everything in the past, I'm not focused on anymore, man. It's gone. I like to use the term take the rearview mirror off a lot because it's not really important, man.
I think that a lot of us need to write that
Take
one.
it off.
That's going to be your new most popular tattoo. People are going to come to you wanting the rear view mirror.
So, man, I just hit a new I hit a new height, and I made that my new base.
Yeah.
I don't take any steps backward from that new base. And I still live like that. Now I'm on this one, and I'm not taking those steps.
Was there ever a point where you took that step and then it lulled a little bit and you thought about having to take that step back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Most people take that step back.
Yeah.
What kept you from doing it? What kept you from doing it? Where did that discipline
consistent
come from?
Determination. Like you said, the discipline, man. I thank my parents and my parents for that.
Beautiful.
For teaching me that. Never scared of one-on-one. Always finish what you start. Always, whether you like it or not. And I think that's important. I'm gonna ramble off here, but for kids for kids who their first job, you know what I mean, is a bag boy at Target or Safeway or something. Nothing's forever, man. But just do everything with 100%, and you're gonna shine.
How did they teach you? What did they do?
Just by saying and
making you do things like that.
That, man.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling was the biggest factor for me. Seriously, you're out there one-on-one, dude. You don't have no team. It's just you against another man. Again, he's trying to hurt you. You got to hurt him. And that just taught me a lot, just to face a lot of fears. You know.
When I was college age, I worked a construction landscape job. My job every day was I would drive to this depot out in the middle of absolute nowhere. I would get in a truck with 4 or 5 other guys, and they would then drive us to a commercial job site. And it'd usually be like a big shopping center or something like that. And our job was to do all the landscaping inside, like the little islands in the parking lot or all around the buildings and everything. Well, since I was the new guy, the young guy that nobody liked or whatever, like you're gonna pay your dues, they would give me a pickaxe and they would put me in the middle of one of those islands and they would make me break the concrete with it. And no one told me like any type of strategy or whatever. So my hands are just getting beat to hell. Like, I mean, just tore up. The sun beat me so bad that the skin peeling off my neck literally was like a quarter. Like it was crazy. No one told me like, yo, wear something over your head, you know, and those types of things. And I remember that job was so miserable, but so good for me because my next job after that was a competitive internship. And it was here in Phoenix. That was actually back in Missouri. It was here in Phoenix. And it was, to be honest, it was ridiculous, the stuff that I had to do and the environments and the scenarios I got put in. As it was at a financial firm, and they would have me do things like I'd be wearing a full suit every day because it's a financial planning firm. And they'd be like, go clean up dog shit at the house. They make me go to my boss's house and clean up dog shit in 110 degrees wearing a suit. Go install an air conditioning unit in the side of my guest bathroom. Go change my car battery downstairs in the garage. And every single time that I wanted to be like, forget this shit, I quit. Like, no way is this where am I doing this? I would always just think about being in that damn hole, breaking that concrete with that pickaxe. I'm in air conditioning and I'm making more money now than I was when I was doing that kind of job. And so it was, even though I hated it at the time, it was so good for me. It taught me perspective. that I could use as I went down the road and faced other hard things.
Oh, yeah. You now carry characteristics that'll be with you for your life, man.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I think that kind of ties into even what we were talking about earlier with the social media stuff for the younger generation. That's not as common, working those types of jobs and doing the hard things like that. And some of it's good from an efficiency standpoint, but some of it's bad because they're going to miss out on what we were just talking about.
Yeah. I just hope people never lose the hard work ethic, man, and to embrace all of the steps, you know what I mean, on the way to your top. Everybody's got a different top.
There's a lot of businesses right now. You hear everybody talking about it, and it's true. The middle class right now is dissipating. The rich are getting richer. The middle class is going away, and then poor getting poor.
Yeah.
And there's a big saturation point where a lot of people, whether they want to get famous online or whatever, there is this middle sector, whether you want to go be an AC installer or like really hardworking jobs, they will pay now way more than they would have paid before.
Yeah.
But they still can't fill the jobs because the younger people or people in general aren't desperate enough. They think they don't want to do that. They want to be associated with that. They don't want to find their identity in that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I know, man.
We
need those jobs still. Plumbers, electricians.
Exactly. And the amount of money they can make now too. It's like, dude, why? It's just so sad that we live in a society that somehow, some way, someone feels like that job is going to be looked down upon. Yet they probably will make more money than the other person who's sitting in the job looking down on them.
Like, fuck that. I wish all people would stop giving a fuck what others think, and respectfully.
Agree.
You know what I mean? You're not out here saying it. I don't care.
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. Fuck off. But like you carry that internally.
Yes.
And humbly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you just. That's huge for me. Huge.
It's freeing.
Like if I catch myself judging, which I pride myself on being very minimal, I shame myself. Like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Who?
Me too.
Yeah,
See,
what are you doing?
I truly believe, and I know this for myself, that the person that's standing in the way of me actually reaching my potential of what God created me to do is myself.
Yeah.
It's my pride.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's my pride.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation with a good buddy of mine yesterday, and I even want to go on record saying this because I've done a lot of talking about the difference between like self-confidence that really is arrogance or being cocky, and that's empty. That's foolishness. Like if you're cocky and arrogant for no reason, you are fooling yourself and trying to fool the other people around you. I would talk about how like healthy self-confidence means that you've gone through the hard things, you don't quit, you're going to keep going. And I think that's still good. But even that reliance on self is still a version of pride and saying, I did this. And you're not even looking and saying, God, thank you for giving me the ability to not quit and to still do the hard thing. So yes, it's good to have that healthy self-confidence, but it has to be rooted in the fact that you know that it's only because God gave you the ability to do so.
That's right.
That was humbling for me.
That's right.
Because it becomes about ourselves. It might look a little better and it's a little bit cleaner or whatever, more kosher than being cocky, but still it is a form of pride. And I'm having to still work on that. Definitely. I want to move on here, and we're getting close. We're going to start wrapping up here in a minute. I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Me too, man.
And I've already told you this. You definitely deploy that necessary self-discipline that's made this possible.
Thank you.
In your business, but also in jiu-jitsu. Obviously, that's paying off. And the way that we talked before the cameras are even on, like you have opportunity right now in jiu-jitsu, and because your son's basketball games are on Saturday, you're even having this little conflict of like, all right, do I give my time to something that I know I have a lot of talent in and there might even be a trajectory there for me, or do I want to prioritize my son and his basketball game? And you're talking about how you're choosing your son.
100%.
Amen.
100%. Yeah. It's only right.
Yeah.
Feels right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm having an internal battle mentally, like, oh man, I should be doing this, but no, I should be right here with my son. He's number one, prioritizing him. So yeah, the jiu-jitsu tournaments land on Saturdays, but my son has a basketball game every Saturday, so we're there. And I'll train when I train, man. I'm still in shape, not being lazy. Proud of myself.
Because it's still up to you. You can still make it happen. It might just be a little bit harder by prioritizing him first instead of you.
But dude, to see him smile and be out there on the court doing what he loves, he genuinely loves basketball. He'll get up in the morning, watch highlights on YouTube of his favorite players. He'll name me players I don't even know on teams. Yeah, he doesn't know, but we're going to take him to the Suns game tomorrow. We got a suite.
No way.
Yeah,
Who do they play tomorrow?
Trailblazers.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
He has no idea, but he's going to be fucking hype.
That'd be so fun.
And my girl's never been either, so I'm taking my girl.
So fun for him.
I'm taking my dad, my brother, and him.
So cool. Don't get much
So
better.
thankful. Shout out to Dom for those tickets. That's my business partner, man. He's amazing.
That's
amazing.
Cool. It's hard to find good people like that you trust.
Yeah, and a great friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's special. I want to go back real quick to that when you're trying to be a parent and you've got to, because I think some people, it's hard for them to really find that balance of how do I prioritize and put my kids first without being negligent to myself? Because something I always talk about is self-care is not selfish if the reason why you're taking care of yourself is so that way you can be better for others. But what does that look like? Like, that sounds great, Brenton, but like, what does that really look like? And so ever since we had our first little girl, Sailor, and now we've had our next girl, Emmy.
Congrats, by the way. Bro.
Thank you. Thank you. You hear so much about dad bod. And even though my life is built around fitness and our brands and stuff like that, I still notice, because I'm definitely fatigued from the home life right now, I don't get to go home and just focus on myself and recover and relax. I walk in that door and it's like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, is the baby crying? Do I need to put Sailor to bed? Do I need to make food? Like, what do I need to do to help my wife right now?
Yeah.
And so it showed me where I'm still selfish. It showed me where I still need to grow to really die to myself and put others first. But then just going back to what I said, so what does self-care look like in a way that I'm still taking care of myself and leading by example, and what I've been trying to do for almost a decade now? And it's giving me a new motivation, because I want to show that it is possible to still push yourself to your potential while still putting your priorities in the right place.
Yeah.
It's just a little harder.
It is. That's what we signed up for, right?
Sleep. Yeah. So I've actually intentionally, I've been going so hard over the last couple months, and I have not, all my stuff that I've been posting for workouts and everything has been old stuff.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of people right now think that I've been taking it easy. A lot of people think I've been falling off and everything, because it's like, oh, he's in dad bod mode and everything. Dude, it's been the opposite. It's been motivating me so much. Sometimes I'm training 2-3 times a day right now.
Good.
Yeah. And so I'm waiting a little bit, because I'm deep into this cut right now, and I'm going to get a little bit farther. And I genuinely think I'm going to be able to produce the best result I've ever had in my entire life. And with the stress and the kids and being older and everything, I'm doing it on purpose, because I want to be able to show, like, this is possible.
Yeah.
And that's the message I want to get out there at that point. But I had to do it myself first before I could expect someone else to do it too. Yeah. Especially the people that I work with or coach or life coach and stuff like that. How am I going to expect or demand something out of you that I don't expect and exemplify out of myself? Yeah. So that's
when to find beauty in the struggle, man. I mean, it's not a struggle, but you know what I mean? Like, my schedule's do the same. I'm up at 6 every day, take baby boy to school by 7, hit the gym until 8:30, tattoo shop at 9, leave by 5, go get him from school, 5:30, basketball practice, 6. That's every day. Every day. Clock. And then the days you don't have basketball practice, we'll hit jiu-jitsu. But I love it. It's a lot. Yeah. And my girl's like, dude, you're nonstop, blah, blah, blah. And I love her too. She's amazing. Great partner. But
I'm excited to hear her. I haven't met her yet.
She's cool.
I can tell.
She is lovely.
I can tell.
Yes.
All right. Ideally, within your ability to control based on your strategic disciplines that you've already deployed and have got you where you are now, you know, we can only do so much. You always hear the saying, we make our plans, God laughs. So within your own control of what you can do, what does the future look like for Gabriel?
100% right now, just focus on being the best father, man.
Cool.
That's really it.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's not like, oh, he's 18. No, fatherhood never expires. You know?
And what being the best father means is going to look differently at different chapters and phases of his life and yours.
Yep. And I'm just very thankful. Thank God for the capability of tattooing and my freedom I have. Yeah. I won't miss a field trip. I won't miss a sporting event. I won't miss nothing, man. I just want to be there for every little thing that he does and he goes through.
Why does that mean so much to you?
Because what else do we have? What else do we have? I mean, you die, everything,
like it's gone.
But he's going to remember me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he'll remember me, and I want him to carry those important characteristics, and I want him to feel love. I want him to know it's okay. It's okay to cry when you're sad. You know what I mean? It's all right, man. Talk. Yeah. It's all right. Communicate. He'll get in his moods too, where he doesn't talk. He's just he's being and I'm like, son, you got to talk to me, man.
Yeah.
You got to talk to me. I don't know what's going on. So open up. It's all right.
The ability to articulate and communicate your feelings.
Yeah.
It's one of the most important.
Social skills, are important to me.
Yeah.
Communication.
And I think people would define even social skills as like the ability to basically kind of carve out how you want people to see or view you. Mm-hmm. But even a lot of that's fake.
Yeah.
And that's rampant now.
Yeah.
So the ability to have what I would say healthy social skills is that you can actually connect and communicate with someone else.
Yeah.
You can actually listen to someone and understand and care enough to sit in their perspective to kind of feel like, what is their life like?
Yeah. Active communication and listening, what we're doing. Like, this is nice.
Yeah. There's this story of, and this hit home for me. There was this couple, they've been married for 40 years. The guy had worked a brutal factory job, 60 hours a week, and raised a family, always put his family first, put himself last, just clocking in, clocking out. That's just nose to the grindstone. And his wife would always make him a sandwich, and she would always give him the butt of the bread, the end piece of the bread. All right. And I think it's funny because I'm the one eating that in my house all the time. No one else wants to eat it. I eat it all the time. I actually like it. But it would bother him. And he's like, all right, I just worked 12 hours at this job. I come home and you're going to give me the worst part of this bread as a sandwich. And finally, one day, he had such a bad day, because normally he didn't say anything. Yeah. He finally blew up on his wife. And he's like, what's wrong with you? Like, I've spent my whole life slaving for this family, taking care of this family, putting you guys first. And time after time, like, I can't stomach it today. I've had a bad enough day. Everybody's been kicking me. Yeah. Why do you give me the worst part of this bread? Oh, shit. And she looks at him and she starts crying. And she says, because it's my favorite part. Oh. Yeah. Whose fault is that? She wasn't able to communicate ever and never told him that was her favorite part. So the whole time he always thought she was giving him the worst, the waste. Yeah. But really she was giving him her heart the whole time. So my point in all of that is we can do great things. We can go through the motions. We can go through the schedule that you just laid out, like just clocking in, clocking out, doing everything for everybody else. But if we don't communicate along the way, sometimes they don't even know why we're doing it. Yeah. Sometimes they miss even the point.
That's a good
story.
They don't
even feel the love. Thank you. It's not mine. I can't take credit for it. Yeah, right? But it hit home for me. Because I'm like, man, how many things have I done for my little family that are hard for me, and I'm struggling through it. But because I haven't communicated through it with my wife, like, and then eventually with my children as they get older to understand, I'm missing a really big, important part of that equation that I have to make sure I really don't allow complacency to get in there and keep me from having those conversations and communicating those things.
Yep. Communicate. Don't let the devil win ever. Constantly being tested.
That is for sure. And that never stops.
Nope.
That never stops. And I think that can be intimidating for some people until you realize that when you do, like, again, what I said earlier, like that self-confidence, when you realize it comes from God. If God is your source of all things, your stamina, your provisions, your health, all things, he's also your source and your defense against the enemy. Yes. And the enemy can't beat him. Yep. So if he's taking care of everything, I don't need to be intimidated by that. Right. A lot of people look for, and this was me included for a long time, we want to know, all right, how much more hard work do I have to put in before it gets easier? When do I kind of get to coast a little bit? And if we're always looking for that, we're going to be constantly disappointed because it's just going to be something different. We might get past this hurdle, but we're going to have a different one come that looks a little different. And what I'm learning is through God, how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, to not look for the break, to like when I go into the gym, I'm not looking for how easy can I make this. Right. I'm going to go put myself through hell because that's what I'm looking for because I know the result that it produces. That's life. I don't want to just go through the motions. Yeah, and that's the thing too. When my prayer, I've write it on the top of a lot of my stuff, God pace me. Because if you pace me and I'm looking to you, you're going to give me the breaks I need, the rest I need. Everything is going to fall into place because I'm not going about my agenda at my pace and saying, all right, help me do this.
Yeah,
I'm looking to you and saying, tell me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and when to do it with.
That's good, B.
I got to simplify it for me, man, because I burn out.
Yeah.
Because I've relied on my ability to be tough, to be vigilant, to be whatever you want to put in that blank that makes it possible for me to get through the hard things. And yeah, it got me through some things, but eventually it falls flat. It falls short. I can't do it on my own.
Yeah. No.
Anything. I can't be the dad I want to be. I can't be the husband I want to be. If I want to go home and be present and be in a good mood and I feel like I'm failing at work, I'm not gonna be able to do that on my own.
Yeah.
That's only God that can do that through me, man.
Yeah.
And it's even the little things, the simple things, how I want to communicate, how I want to respond to people, that I want to lead with love instead of defensiveness.
Yeah.
Like so many of us, we lead out of that defensiveness. We're anticipating how someone's going to come at us or attack us or getting ahead of it, instead of just being like, none of that even matters.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
God's got all that. I can
Love
just breathe.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Love is awesome.
That's it. It's everything. What do you think legacy means? How do you define legacy, and what do you want your legacy to be?
Representation of yourself, what you can do for others, what you bring to the table, in a sense, you know? It's really about being a good person, man. Just overall. Seriously. I wish, I don't know, man. I wish there was no hate in this world. I wish all that.
It'd be a lot different place.
Yeah. But I want my son to be a very well-mannered, respectful little boy, man. And he's amazing. I like to think I'm doing the right thing, for sure. But yeah, man, I just want him to be happy. And that's so easily said, you know, but it's a mission. It's a mission.
I'm watching you do it.
Yeah.
I'm watching you do it. And I think what's also really cool about what you do for a living is you got somebody captive in your chair, hours and hours on end, sometimes days in a row on a big project. And you're speaking into that person.
Yeah.
And then that's an opportunity for you to leave a legacy in every single person's life that ever sits in your chair. You have them captive for that amount of time. Yeah. And you get to do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Pretty cool. That's unique. Not many people have that.
Yeah.
You have them there longer than a therapist does.
Sure
you have them there longer than a pastor does.
Yeah.
You have them there pretty much longer than anything I can think of.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
a blessing.
It's a responsibility, for sure.
Yeah.
But I know it's not one that intimidates you.
No.
I know you see it as an opportunity because I watched you do it.
Very proud.
Yeah.
Very proud and blessed, fortunate to have my situation that I have.
So, and also your work's everywhere, right? How crazy is that? I'll be laying in the casket one day and you gonna be in there with me, but
I think about that shit a lot. I do. I'm serious. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna die and someone's gonna be like, oh yeah, he did this and blah, blah.
That's a crazy concept. Cool. That's a crazy concept. Your ripple effect's different than mine. I like to try to teach people a way to live their life of the way they eat, the way they're self-disciplined work, the way they train. So it becomes their lifestyle to the point that they don't need anyone like me to help them or teach them anymore, that they start teaching other people that.
Yeah.
Like the things that we talk about on this show, whether it's with you today or the other guests, or if I'm on myself, I want people to hear things that they can relate, whether it's through my pain, the other person's pain, their story, and then they find the hope and the courage to then forge their path and to hopefully rely on God to do so. And to kind of, you know how it goes, dude. We start to build up, we get chopped back down, and it's just all part of the process. But the whole point is you got to still take that next step. You got to still go through the process. You can't get frozen. I've gotten frozen before. And that's one of my main motivators now, is never to get frozen like that again. Because I know what that's like. It's brutal. And if you're going through that right now, I'm sorry, but it's not always going to be this way. But you got to do your part to get unfrozen. You got to start taking, even if it's little baby steps, even if it's at the point right now you're sitting in your room or in your car and it's a mess.
Keep the faith.
The environment around you is a reflection of how you're feeling inside, and you know that. Maybe even how you look right now. So just take even little steps. Just clean up one little thing. Do one, like, it doesn't have to be this giant thing that you have to accomplish all at one time. Just start taking those little steps and you'll start to get a little momentum. And then you might get a little bit of a setback, but give yourself grace and just take another step and keep going. Keep going.
That's right.
So your ripple effect is so cool though, because yours ain't coming off, man. Like, you get to have that conversation, you get to make an impact in what you say in their life, and they get to leave with something that you've done.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
It is.
Now, my billboard question, we were laughing like crazy before we started because I always ask people this question. So based on where they live in the valley or if they're from somewhere else, I always pick one place that's extremely highly trafficked. So if it was like the 202 and the 60 or whatever, 202 and 101, up here I always tell people 101 and Scottsdale Road, if you could have a billboard and it could say anything you want on it, but you got to sign your name and your face and everybody knows it's like your message, your billboard, what would it say? This dude already has a billboard.
Yes, man.
I saw that on your page, your story the other day, and I was like, my man, that's so cool.
We got one for the GH Studios.
Yeah.
It's off of Alma School in the 202 by the Tempe Marketplace area by Scarizona. So check that out.
That's so
you
cool.
guys.
So obviously that one's from a business standpoint.
Yes.
To push. Would you do it? And it's cool if it's the same answer. That's what you would do with your billboard. Is there anything else? Like if it was just like your personal thing that you want to put on there, what would it be if it is different?
Just love, have faith, don't judge.
Yeah, I like that.
And pray at night.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Pray when you're
and
low.
throughout the day.
Pray when you're low. Pray when you're high.
Exactly.
Serious, man.
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite moments of the day. Is when me and my family pray at night. Every night. Every night in my son's bed. And we take turns saying it.
What you're doing is you're creating that anchor for his soul.
And I let him know that. I said, when you're sad, you talk to God. When you're happy, you talk to God.
Amen.
Thankful, you talk to God.
Amen.
Serious.
There's your legacy right there. Thank you for doing this with me today.
Thank you for having me, man.
Buddy.
I love you, man. It's good to see you.
I love you too. So we might have a little something else up our sleeve that we're going to be doing together here pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be fun and it's going to be different.
It's going to be sick.
It's going to be different. We'll leave it with that. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode. Appreciate your time. Go check out Gabriel's stuff. It'll be at the link in the description. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank y'all.